Alright guys, the rules for factoring when there is an A. Yet Friday, when we went over it, there was no A. It was really easy. It was just based on the factors of C. Well, today we're going to have factors of A as well. And a lot of this is guess and check. So if I list all the factors of A, and by A I mean the term in front of the x squared, the quadratic term, and I list all the factors of C, well then B has to be some combination of the two, and I'm going to write that here. B is determined from a combination of the factors of A and C. What I mean by that is, and these are kind of really hints more than anything, if A or C is prime, write it down immediately. Here's what I mean. If you look at number 1 and I see there's A, there's C. 3 is obviously prime. So when I go to factor this, I can automatically just put 3x and x, or vice versa, x and 3x. It really doesn't matter. Okay? So that's what I mean by part A. Part A just says put those there. I can do the same thing on number 2, 5x and x, and so on. Okay? And really, even 7 is prime. So this is either going to be 1 and 7 or 7 and 1. We'll talk about that in just a second. Part B is if no prime numbers, I'll just put no prime, guess and check. And what I mean by that is we're going to take the factors, like on this one, the factors of 4 are 1 and 4 or 2 and 2. And we're going to have to guess and check how to do that. And really the best thing for this is to have a pencil, so let me get one of those out here. And I'm going to go, well, let me just guess 1 and 4. And when I do this, I always want to check my outside and my inside. And if they give me that, then I got it good to go. Okay? In other words, let's write part C. In FOIL, so when you have to FOIL things out, the outside and inside terms combine to get B. And that's either by adding or subtracting. Okay? So when I do the outside term here, I get 12x and 1x. That's never going to give me 8x. Not going to be 4 and 1, or 1 and 4. Maybe it's 4 and 1. Let me test that. I'm going to get 3x and 4x. Again, that's not going to give me 8. So I'm making intentionally, I'm doing this wrong. I'm trying to tell you that it's really just guess and check. So if it's not 4 and 1, it's obviously 2 and 2. This gives me 2x. This gives me 6x. So to get a negative 8x, they both have to be negative. That would give me a negative 8. Okay, so then they both have to be negative, and that's it. That's my answer. Okay. Now here again, we said it was going to be 1 and 7 or 7 and 1. If I plug in 1 and 7, I'm going to get 35x from that. That's not going to give me that. So obviously this is 7 and 1, which gives me a 7x and a 5x. And to get a negative 2x, that means that the 7 has to be negative and the 5 has to be positive. So to get negative 7 here, that has to be negative. There's my positive, and there's my answer. Okay. Now on number 3 again, you know what? I think you guys can try number 3. Go ahead and try number 3, pause it, come back and make sure you got it. I'm going to start with 1 and 5 because 5 is a prime number. It only has 1 and 5. Now for this, it's either going to be, again, the factors of 6 are 1 and 6 or 2 and 3. So I got to just plug them in and guess and check. For the sake of time, I'm going to plug in the right ones. I'm going to go 2x and 3x. That gives me 3x. That gives me 10x. To get a positive 7, that's positive, that's negative. So if I put a negative in both of them, I can kind of look at this. This would give me negative 3. That would give me negative 10. I don't want negative 10. I want positive 10. So I can just do that. Fill it in, and I'm done. Okay. Number 4, 1 and 9, 3 and 3, 2 and 2, 1 and 4. If you're guessing and checking, I would always guess the 1, 4 and the 1, 9 last. Guess the other ones first. So let's just try 3x and 3x, 2 and 2. And I'm going to get 6x and 6x, which give me that as long as they're both positive. So that's easy. There it is. Done. The next one I've got, again, 2 prime numbers. So I got 2x and x. It's either going to be 1 and 5 or 5 and 1. If you start to see some of these, if I put 5 here, I'm going to get 5 and 7. No, if I put 1 here, I'm going to get 1x and 10x. I need the 10 to be negative, so again, I'm going to put it in both signs and double check. That would be negative 1, that would be negative 10. I need a positive 1, so that's positive. There's my answer there. Okay. On the next one, again, all I have is 3 and 1, so again, it's 3x and x right away, and either it's 1 and 3 or 3 and 1. Hopefully you can start to see some of these. 1 and 3 is the answer. That's going to give me 1x and 9x. Both of them have to be positive to get us back to there, and I've got my answer. Done. I'm going to show you another way to do these in just a second. Let's go down to the bottom here. So down at the bottom, the rules for factoring part 3, which is x squared minus c. This factors into, well, this isn't going to make sense, but x plus the square root of c and x minus the square root of c. Or maybe it will, because if I look at it, all I want to do is make one factor positive and one negative. What I mean is, when I go to my table here, I'm going to have x plus and x minus. I'm going to have x plus, I'm going to have x minus. That's what I mean by that. And then for part 2, take the square root. And it's that easy. The square root of 49 is 7, so that's what goes there. The square root of 9 is 3, so that goes there. Again, I can check this out. X squared, negative 7x, positive 7x from this one, and negative 49. And these cancel, and it gets me back to what it is. This too. The inside and outside would cancel, leaving me with just x squared minus 9. Now, if you think you can guess and check and you get what I'm saying, you don't have to listen to the rest of this. But it might help. There's a different way to do these problems, and it's called the AC method. In other words, if I multiply a and c together, I'm just going to look at number 2. If I multiply the a term and the c term, here's b, together, I get 5 times 7 negative, which is negative 35. Okay, AC. And what I need from there is the factors of 35 that give me 7. Well, that's 5 and 7, as long as one of them is negative. To get negative 2, well, I get that there. And I can rewrite this whole term as 5x squared plus 5x minus 7x minus 7. And then it's a matter of GCF. If you don't remember GCF, stop watching right now, because this is going to be confusing. But GCF is the biggest number that they both have in common and the biggest letter. In this case, I can pull a 5x out of each one of them. And when I divide a 5x out, those cancel, I'm left with just x. I divide a 5x out of here, plus 1. Then I'm going to pull out, what do they have in common? Well, they have a negative 7 in common. What am I left when I pull a negative 7 out of here? The negatives that divide, it's just x. When I pull a negative 7 out of here, it's just plus 1. And look at my answer. X plus 1 is what they have in common. What's left is the rest of the answer, 5x minus 7. And guess what? That is exactly what we got here. If you didn't see that, let me try it again. 9 times 4 is 36. AC is 9 times 4, which is 36. The factors of 36. Well, we want the ones that add up to 12. So 9 and 4, nope, that doesn't work. 3 and 12, nope, that doesn't work. 6 and 6, yep, that gives it to me. So again, I'm going to rewrite this. I'm going to write it over here this time as 9x squared plus 6x plus 6x plus 4. So all I'm doing here, again, is just breaking that up into 2 terms. Breaking that up into 2 terms. The factors out of here is a 3x. When I divide 3x out, I'm left with 3x. Divide 3x out of here, I'm left with 2. Here, they both have in common a 2, and I get 3x plus 2 out of each one of those when I divide that by 2 and divide that by 2. And look what I got. 3x plus 2 is what they have in common. What's left is the other factor. Hopefully this helps. Hopefully you've tried some in class so that you're not doing this fresh, but you can look at this to hopefully help you through it. Your assignment will be the entire next page.